The 40th edition of the Ironman World Championship from Kona happened just this past weekend. If you were able to catch the race, it certainly didn't disappoint. Both Daniela Ryf and Patrick Lange smashed the previous course records. So for this week's video, instead of going through a play-by-play of how the race unfolded, I want to touch on some key takeaways that any age grouper could learn if they have aspirations of qualifying for Kona. Stuff's gonna go wrong throughout the day. You're gonna have to deal with it. Daniela Ryf is the perfect example of this when just before the race she was stung under both her arms by a jellyfish. Before the race she talked about all the work that she'd gone in and how her preparation had gone perfectly, and then moments before the cannon goes off, this happens. Instead of dwelling on how this could unravel a perfect day, Daniela just did her best to get through the swim where the jellyfish stings were going to have the biggest impact on her, and then she got to work on the bike, and ultimately it was a record-setting day for her. It all comes down to the run. The bike is the flashiest part of triathlon, but more often than not, the fastest runners claim the top spots on the podium. The top 3 run splits in the male field, and 3 of the top 4 run splits in the female field were our men's and women's podiums. Athletes like Anne Haug, Marinda Carfrey, David McNamee, Matt Russell, and more were all able to run down big deficits off the bike so that they could be among the top finishers. In triathlon, you bike for show, but you run for dough. Great training doesn't guarantee a great result come race day. Every year, at least 2/3 of the professional field walks away from Kona disappointed with their race. Both Lionel Sanders and Sebastian Kienle would be obvious athletes to point out in the men's field, but they certainly aren't alone. There's a lot of variables that go into having a great race day, so if you do have a disappointing result, it's important to not overreact. Going through your training and race with a third party like a coach is a great way to see if there's anything obvious that you missed or screwed up on, but just because you had a bad race doesn't mean you have to overhaul what you're doing. Every year it seems like it's getting harder and harder to qualify for Kona. Good luck to everybody who's chasing that goal, and until next time, happy training.
Oh, this you crazy mother.